Hello and welcome to this shaky mobile phone video. Apologies in advance if my voice is a bit, how do I say, gravelly. I've been playing a bit of soccer today, and after leading 1-0 for most of the game, we lost 3-1. There might have been some friendly banter along the way that has probably taken out my throat a bit, but lots of fun, lots of fun. Today I want to talk about Game Gears. A couple of people have been asking me about the RetroKai adaptive backlights, those LED backlights that replace the original fluorescent tubes. So I'm going to test out two things. We've got a Ray Earth one here. It's a 95 model. It has the original backlight in it. It's got a pretty good screen. The original lens obviously been recapped. I've turned the sound out. Both of these have the RetroKai soundboards, but yeah, it's just going to sound silly if I have two Game Gears competing for sound. So no sound. Let's watch the pictures. The other one, obviously the Ninku Blue. It's a 94 model. It's got the thingamajig, the Retro 6 power board. Probably can't see it, but that's obviously a USB-C. I only have 6 of those ridiculously expensive Eneloop black batteries, so yeah, this one's powered. It shouldn't make a big difference. Both of them have similar quality screens, original screens, obviously. Big thing to note is RetroKai backlight in this Ninku Blue one, original fluorescent in the Ray Earth red one. Both beautiful in their own way, but I think, look, my opinion is that you get a bit more value out of the RetroKai LED one. You also get 2-3 times the amount of battery life, which is silly because I've got it plugged in at the moment, but yeah, deal with that. Okay, 3 popular games. We're going to start with Columns, Sonic, and then Land of Illusion. So let's do it. Turn it on, pop. That probably looks a bit silly. Yeah, and the first thing you notice, I can actually see that, but for a camera, that is just way too much brightness, so we're going to have to turn that down straight away. Okay. So what you noticed, I pushed the start button, and I also pushed the button to, that's how you wire it up, and that actually gives you brightness settings. Let's start it off, try to get them onto the same screen somehow. It's always good when you do that. And it's probably a bit odd actually, because I reckon, let's try to zoom in or something, because on the camera I reckon from that angle it was looking better on the original. But that, I think when you get closer you can sort of see, this one's sort of, see how you get that little, I don't know what to call it, but it's sort of bleeding towards the edge, whereas this is a nice, it's a nice even backlight. And you've got that adjustable brightness. Whereas this one you can't, I think, is it called brightness? But I think it's really just a contrast. You're making it more white or more black. You're not actually adjusting how intense that is. We can sort of look at them together. Again, it's a camera, but we have to zoom in. And shaky mobile phone camera. You'll probably see that though. You're not improving the screen in any way. It's the same screen, and I don't think either improves the quality of the screen. What it does though is give you a more consistent bit of lighting, better battery life, and yeah, bit more brightness. That's you're not having to sort of make it more white or more black. You're making it brighter or darker depending on the settings, which is great. Yeah, didn't do so well that round of Columns, but hopefully that's a bit of flickering is the other thing. Like, and that's not, the camera probably highlights that more. I can't really see that with my eyes, but through the camera you can sort of see fluorescent, click, 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 click. So, where's that one? Oh, nice and solid. Nice and solid. So I think you get a much better view. All right, let's go on to the next game, because I'm babbling too much. Sonic. I'll try to speed this up because, you know, the pace is a bit slow. I respect we're already 5 minutes in. Sonic. All Japanese versions. Let's just look. It's just where I source most of my games from. Good prices. Sort of am there a lot. Australia didn't have much of a Game Gear scene as well, so the range of Game Gear games I can get here, look, they're going to be expensive, and the range won't be great. Turn that on. That's your original backlight. And that was probably good to note, you know, again, obviously it turns on like a fluorescent bulb. Not as bad as some of the ones that, like, yeah, one of my parents worked at a university. I remember these dodgy old fluorescent bulbs going around there, but not quite that bad, but it's, you know, it's a fluorescent bulb. There we go. Let's get into the game, because it's sort of, and this is obviously a pretty common game. Okay, start. Green Hill Zone. I'm not going to try playing or anything, I think we're just going to compare. This one's actually pretty good, by the way. This Ray Earth one, I reckon, compared to my other Game Gears, this is a pretty good fluorescent bulb to compare. Again, a bit of flickering, a bit of bleeding. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. But, like, if I'm honest, that's not a bad fluorescent. That's a, maybe I'm overselling it a bit, but it's a decent fluorescent. I don't know if it's worth me trying to make this any brighter, or, you know, more or less. You can see when I hold those down. And you can see it's drawing a different amount of power, so that's the other thing. You use it. This is the lowest setting, and that's probably my favourite, to be honest. If you can get away with that, that's my favourite. And it's using less power. I've got, I don't know, it's a bit of a noisy power supply when plugged in, but hopefully it's not doing damage to my board. But that's nice. Close up of the. And again, this camera's not doing it justice. But here, you know, when you don't like that, you've got to make it darker or lighter. And probably when you make it darker, you know, that's when you start to really notice that stuff. Boom. Whereas this one, if I'm to put that, down, whatever. I haven't really proved anything there, to be honest. But yeah, that's not really proved anything there. But this is one when you turn that brightness down, you do notice more bleeding and the like if you turn it up. So I guess that's the good thing. You're not changing the contrast on this one. You're just changing the brightness. You can keep it the way it is for each game. All right, let's try to make this video under 10 minutes. We will probably the best one to show off graphics. I think it's, look, in terms of Game Gear graphics, probably one of the best. Land of Illusion. I think a lot of love went into that one. My understanding is that they developed it around the time they developed that awesome Genesis or what Mega Drive game, the World of Illusion, and they sort of, yeah, no, not like that. Let's just reinsert this one. Hopefully, I cleaned some of these carts out before because they were just sitting in a box. So, yeah, that's good. There we go. You can see nice. I mean, to me, that's nice cartoony graphics. Yeah. Okay. And this one here. Bit more flicking, bit more leaking, bit more leaking. It's see for yourself, and obviously this camera doesn't do either of them justice, to be honest. But yeah, it gives you an idea. Let's give it. And we'll just go into the game itself. Go to that first level. Hey, Mickey. Over here, there or something. Okay. Silly me. Okay. Hopefully we can have a look. I guess another thing I just thought of then is with this one, you can set it to a darker color. It's not necessarily going to get us an advantage on the camera. Unfortunately, that can't really do it justice because it looks really bad on the camera, what I'm noticing, but you're sort of getting deeper purples, is what I'm saying. Which may or may not be obvious on that camera, but that's probably an advantage of this one, that you can crank your brightness up, contrast down, and you'll get the brightness without saturating your colors out. And I think that's a fair demonstration of it right there. Actually, you can see that going on. So that's the two. I'll turn them off now. Hopefully that was some kind of demonstration. They're similar game gears. That's probably one reason I compared them as well. Yeah, and I personally, this one here is going to get a mod soon. I'm certainly going to put one of those RetroKai backlights in, not just for the lighting, but for the battery life as well. I just, when you can save 2-3 times the amount of batteries, why not? That was always one of the flaws of game gears, that they churn through batteries, and this is my go-to one. It lasts for about a month. Not straight on, but like I play maybe half an hour of games every night, and I'll charge it once a month. So I think it's sort of 7-8 hours straight or something. I just don't get gaming sessions like that, but yeah, better battery life. So hope that was in some way useful. Take away what you like from it. Enjoy.